Hello friends and welcome back. Today we are taking a look at the Transformers Stranger Things crossover Freakwency with a capital Freak. Oh, and yeah, this is cool. Again, I'm a fan of Stranger Things and I'm a fan of Transformers, so this was a no-brainer. And I thought it was kind of a cool idea to take that very interesting, very iconic van and turn it into a Transformer. And even more so, including a freaking rubber chicken. Oh, man. And this is a pretty cool packaging. So, yeah, you can see we got the WSKQ logo right up here. And this is actually done in a spot varnish. So when the light hits it, it does kind of glow a little bit, which is kind of cool. I got a nice brick pattern here. And on the inside here, you can see what they've done in there. That's cool. That's cool. And on the side of the package, again, we got some spot varnish showing our robot and our 8 tracks, which is our 8-track that transforms into a robot. We got a nice Stranger Things Transformers logo with the Demogorgon right there. And the top of the box is meant to look like the top of the building there. Here on the other side of the packaging, we have our Freakwency just chilling out there with the rubber chicken gun. Oh, that kills me. That does kill me. The Stranger Things logo and the back of the box. We got some things going on here on the side of the building. Got the upside down Stranger Things 21 laps. And do, legalese and stuff. Same on the bottom. All right. It's time to bust out the mini meat cleaver of doom. And let's open this sucker. Let's open this thing. We got some tape here. And some tape here. But, yeah, okay. And he's sandwiched in there. There's a... Oh. Got the trash and books and stuff, which are also trash and stuff. And yeah, you sandwich in a little blister bubble in there. Kind of makes me think of some old school Transformers there. But yeah, there's a better shot at the inside there. Now, unfortunately, I have heard a rumor that this artwork on the inside here may be AI artwork. And there's the other side there. And look at that. All right. Let's bust this puppy open and let's take a look at him. All right. So here we have him opened up and out of the packaging. Let's take a look at his accessories first. Here is the rubber chicken. This is worth buying just for this alone. He's a Transformer that comes with a rubber chicken gun. I mean, come on. And as you can see, it's just sculpted to look like one of them little squeaky rubber chickens. You can see, obviously it does transform into a gun, so it's got little panels and pins and whatnot. It does have articulated legs, so you can do that. It's about all you really can do with it. Part of the transformation, you do have a pin post, whatever you want to call it, that you can flip out right there. And if you want to, you can post the rubber chicken into the roof of the van. It's a thing you can do. And we'll show off its gun mode when we get into robot mode. And then here we have the 8-track, calling him 8 tracks. They should have dusted off a classic G1 Transformer name and called this guy Squawk Box. I'm just saying. As you can see, we have the WSKQ, the Squawk logo with the 94.5. Right there on the back, we have Rockin' Hawkins with an Autobot logo. And right there, once again, we have the WSKQ logo on that side there, the black paint. And yeah, it's just a little 8-track player. Or 8-track, I should say, 8-track. Cartridge. And looking at the main event himself, here we have the van, the Squawk. We have the logo right there, WSKQ 94.5 FM. We got the little stripes going down the side. On the front, our Hawkins Hitmaker. The WSKQ there on the front. Nice silver grill with blue lights picked out in paint. Yeah, I swear I can speak. Of course, we have a little Autobot logo there on the very front. And going down the side, we have the same thing on the other side. Here on the back, sadly, we don't have anything picked out in paint other than the bumper, the spot for the license plate, and obviously that's just the colored plastic right there, which is a shame. Would have been nice if we had picked those out, the back windows there in paint, as well as the tail lights. Oh, forgot to mention we do have the little windows here on the side, picked out in a nice glossy black paint. Pinned on wheels, the black painted plastic on the gray plastic there. Underneath, you can pretty much see the entire robot here. He is not very good at being a robot in disguise. And he does roll fairly well. He's got a nice, decent amount of clearance. I mean, it does get a little close right there where the chest is, but you know, you got that. So, for a quick comparison, here he is with a little Bumblebee and with a Legacy Bulkhead. You can see how these all scale together here. Alright, so let's go through the transformation. First things first, let's start here with the thing that should be named Squawk Box. Okay, so we're just going to take right here. There's a seam here on this side. It's kind of hard to see because it's bright yellow. And we'll just unfold this, just like so. Then we're going to unfold this piece and split that apart, just like so. Then we're going to take this thing and rotate this all the way around. And this is where things get a little bit tight. You have to push this down until it snaps into place. It's going to go over that little groove right there. And it's a very tight snap. So you don't really want to push it from back here. You really want to push it from up here. And you want to get that just like that. And then this will come up. And there's a little tab right there. It's going to go into a little notch, tiny little notch right there at the tip of my thumbnail. Just like so. Then rotate the head around. And rotate these forward to be his little gun or feet thingies. And there we have 8 tracks. And yeah, he's a little condor, little Soundwave-ish minion. And he's pretty cool. He looks pretty cool. He's got a little bit of paint there on the beak and the eyes. And of course, the rest of this is just solid yellow and with the paint we've already seen. He can kind of flap his wings due to transformation, I guess. And for the rubber chicken gun. This works very much like Cheetor's gut gun. You just lift this up, rotate this around, fold it down, and flip out the peg, and then do whatever you want to do with the legs. If you want to do something weird like that, you can do something weird like that. And there's the chicken gun. This is the accessory of all time. All right, moving on to the main event. What we're going to do here, we're going to go ahead and just unfold these, get them up out of the way, then snap him right here, and you can just accordion these back just like so, just to get that out of the way and split that apart. When we first saw pictures of this, a lot of people thought that this was more reuse of the Combiner Wars Onslaught / Hotspot mold, which of course is what they've used before a couple of times, including the Ghostbusters crossover. But while there is some shared ideas here in the way that these legs work, there is nothing about this guy that is a reuse of anything that I can see, but I do see potential reuse for this guy. Anyway, once we've got these out, you're going to want to come down here and fold these little panels here in the side all the way down. You want to make sure that this piece comes down and out of the way, and then you can fold this all the way down. Then you want to bend this down here at this bottom hinge, and then you should be able to snap that into place like so, and then straighten it up there, and that makes the actual knee. Then this piece, you're going to snap this up into position like that, then fold down the toe, and there is your leg all done. Now for the front part of the vehicle, you're just going to pop up the windscreen here, or the whole hood of the vehicle, I guess you should say. I guess I should say. And this, there's a little tab on the inside here that's just going to sort of notch into place on this little gray frame in here. And that will give you clearance to start pulling out the arms. These are very, very tight on mine, just FYI, just be careful. And you want to straighten that all the way down until it snaps into place just like so. Then we're going to take the arms and move them out until they snap into place like so. Then come in here on the hands. Now, be mindful of the way these hands are turned in here. They are, you know, thinner one direction, and this will only go back into vehicle mode if you have them turned sideways like so. Now, once you have the hands folded out, just fold this up, rotate the hands into position, lower down the arms, and there he is. There is Freakwency with a capital Freak. And yeah, he's a very good-looking robot. And yeah, you can kind of see what I mean, how I think this would have been a better bulkhead, because he's more rounded, more chunky and stumpy at the same time. Big, bulky look here. I think this would have been cool for bulkhead. But the thing that I see here with this guy as a potential reuse, because the whole back area of his legs in vehicle mode is completely hollow, and he's got that nice square truck build with the square shoulders and a very G1 Ironhide-y look. If they were to take the Michael Bay-verse movie Ironhide and G1ify him, this would be a great mold to use for that. Just saying. But let's get a good look here at the details. So we have this new head sculpt right here. He's rocking a pair of earphones, which I love that. And he's just got sort of a chill face there with some shades picked out in nice blue. Nice glossy red paint there for the head. We got a nice faux windshield here that has a nice little hex pattern there on the inside. Looks pretty good. Here we have the midriff there, which is definitely rocking some Soundwave vibes, but of course it's meant to be an 8-track player, and it does have that WSQK logo. Sculpted detail down here on the legs. A very, what we generally see for Optimus Prime's legs here, the way these are sculpted, I think. And then, of course, we saw this on the underside of the vehicle mode, but here they are now. The detail is on the shins. Nice silver paint, red paint there. There's the feet. And there's the back. You know, not a whole lot of hollow on this guy. You do have some in the biceps, but that's where the mushroom pegs are. So, yeah. Now, articulation on this guy. The head is on a ball joint. You don't get a whole lot of movement all the way around because of how low it sits on there, but you do get a full 360 rotation as a result. The shoulders are also on ball joints, so that's something to be careful about when you're transforming, and hopefully those don't get too loose over time. But without engaging the transformation joint, you can get about that far out. If you do engage that transformation joint, you can go much further than that. We do have, you can see, he does have a bicep swivel, but you're going to turn that shoulder first. But yeah, bicep swivel right there. And we have well over 90 degrees of bend there at the elbow. And of course, the hands are on ball joints, so you can get a full rotation there. He does not have anything at the waist. I'm guessing that's to make him more structurally sound for the 8-track gimmick here, which we'll show off in just a second. But I do believe they still could have managed to put a waist swivel in there. Hip skirts are all one piece. Not a fan of that, but that is what it is. And it does tab into place here as well. So it's not going to get out of the way very easily until you come on here and untab it. Then we have universal joints at the hips. You can go forward about that far, back until he hits that about that far. We do have a full splits here, more than a full splits. We do have 90 degrees of bend at the knee. Now these knees, they do lock in, but they don't lock in very well. It's very easy to knock them out. They just sort of loosely tab in here on the side, and then there's a tab on the inside of the apparatus that tabs into the back of this panel here. Again, it's not the same pieces that are in that previous mold, but they are, you know, very based off of one another. But you do get 90 degrees of bend there. If you engage that transformation, you can get a little bit more than 90 degrees. And then, of course, we have ankle pivot, and due to transformation, we can also lift the toe. Now, of course, you can give him the rubber chicken gun. It can just fit here in his hand, just like so. It is not blast effect compatible, so none of that going on here. And he looks absolutely ridiculous with a giant rubber chicken gun, and I love it. He also has a port up here, so you can plug it into his shoulder, which I find interesting because none of the promotional images or any of the things we've seen from the guys at Hasbro have shown this off. So maybe that's for a future retool or remold of this guy. Who knows? But it does look pretty good. Now, likewise, he does have these little posts up here on either side of his van shoulders. And right here underneath on 8 tracks, he's got little peg holes right there. And so you can plug him in on either side, if you so choose, to have 8 tracks sitting on his shoulder. And for comparison, here he is again with the Voyager bulkhead. You can see bulkhead does stand a little bit taller than he does. And again, this would have made a better bulkhead than this did. This is not a bad mold. I just want to say that. This is not a bad mold. It's just a bad fit for bulkhead. Works well for his arch nemesis, though, I will say that. And here he is with Devastation Bumblebee, disguised as GoBot's Bugbite. I'm kidding. It's Bumblebee, but you know that's coming. You know Bugbite's coming. Always is. All right, and the last thing to talk about with this guy, of course, is the fact that he can store 8 tracks here, a la Soundwave, in his 8-track player abdomen. So we'll just go ahead and put this guy back into 8-track mode. And then we just pop this piece open right here. It's just a little flap, folds down. And then you can slide in your 8-track in here just like a shoe. And there you go. And it just stores right in there. It is a pain in the butt to get out. Thankfully, you do have these little grooves right here, so you can reach in and grab them with your finger if you so choose. You can also get back here with the finger or with the spudger and push it out from the back if you want to do that. Getting this out in vehicle mode, though, is next to impossible due to these panels here covering up the only leverage you have to reach in there and get that out. It is also a very snug fit, so I am worried about the paint here over time. If you're taking this in and out more than a few times, whether or not that paint will survive being pulled in and out like that. And so, yeah, that's basically it for Freakwency. I think he is actually an excellent, solid little figure. Now, of course, because he does have the shared engineering with those Combiner Wars torso figures down here in the legs are not as solid as I would like them to be, and I'm not a big fan of the big hollow empty ball joints there for the shoulders. But beyond that, I think he is a neat, unique little figure and very solid. And as I said, I see some pretty good potential reuse for this mold. But yeah, it's still pretty cool. I do dig this. As I said, I picked this up at Target. He is showing up all over the place now, so happy hunting. And that's going to be it for me, guys. Y'all have a good one.